All right, so I'm making a video on how to change the brake pads, rotors, the control arm, upper and lower, on a Dodge Charger 2013. I see a lot of these vehicles on the road. It's a very common vehicle, so I'm pretty sure people would like to know how to do it. I've already done it on the on the driver's side of this vehicle. As you can see, changed the rotor to slot and drilled rotors, brake pads changed, and it's kind of hard to see because it's a little dark now. And also the control arm stand. Yeah, so as you can see, I also did the tie rod and the control arm, so you can see the new control arm. So I'll show you on the other side exactly how to do this for all you do-it-yourself. Pretty sure I don't have to talk about how to take off a tire. If you don't know how to take off a tire, then you're probably not doing this job. So we'll get into taking off the caliper. So let me show you the bolts on the back of this caliper that you're going to take off. So as you can see here, these are the bolts on the back of the caliper. This one right here. I'm using a 7/8 to take that one off, and then also this one right here. All right, so I got my breaker bar here because these bolts are really hard to get off, and my 7/8 right here. So I just go ahead and grab it on there, the back there. Just get to twisting. You're not gonna be able to get back there.
Oh, I am.
You can see me doing it. Oh wow. I'll edit the video or the audio out for that portion.
Crash slugs on deck. These are car mechanics shoes.
Took the first bolt out. Easy day. Once you get it loose enough, you can probably use a regular ratchet and get it out a lot quicker. One thing I want to call your attention to, it's really not a problem on this side for some reason, but on the driver's side it's a problem. You look here, right here, this piece right here, this gets in the way of taking off this top bolt on the caliper. So you use a 10 millimeter and just take this whole thing off. But I guess for this purpose, I'm not gonna have to do it on this side, but on the driver's side I did. I don't know if maybe it was just positioned oddly on the other side, or maybe positioned wrong on this one, but just keep that in mind. As I'm pretty sure everybody knows, when you take off the caliper, you don't want that thing hanging. You got these brake lines back here. Brake lines get pinched and kinked and things like that. That you're gonna have issues down the line. You may have an issue where your brake pads start sticking, and for some reason when you're pressing the gas, it feels like it's hard for you to go. That's probably because you messed up the brake lines. So to prevent yourself from messing up the brake lines, take a hanger and make sure you hang these once you take them off, so that it's not pulling oddly on these brake lines and messing them up. That's the last bolt. Caliper should pull right on off, and just go ahead and hang them right there. And now that the caliper's off, I should be able to get this bad boy on off, get your rotor off. This one might be a little hard to get off. Sometimes they, because of the heat, they end up sticking to the hub. All right, this one was a little tougher to get off than the other side. It was pretty much rusted on there. I had to use some penetration oil or liquid wrench. Spray that on there. Take a real hammer. I started with the mallet, but I had to take a real hammer. Bang it, bang it, bang it, but I got it off. All right, so next thing you want to do is take this backing off. All right, so to take this one off, you just need a 10 millimeter. We're gonna use a 10 millimeter for a lot of this stuff on here. Just go ahead and remove the 3 bolts. One right here. Right there, kind of hard to see. And the light's fading. One right there and one right there. Alright, so I got the last bolt, so take that last bolt off. This comes right on off. I'm going to keep everything together. Beautiful. So now you have open access here. So I can get to the tie rod, which I'm going to have to pop off the tie rod. And I can pop off the control arm. But before I even do that, I'm going to take this plastic cover so I can get access, good access to this bolt right here. So pull out my trusty needle nose pliers. Now, this one. Nope, didn't miss it. Beautiful. Done and done. And now you can see I have very good access to this bolt right here in the back. That bad boy right there, and this one on the side so I can get the control arm out. Alright, we're going to start by taking off the control arm's bolt right under here. Again, same socket. I used the 7/8. It was working for me, so. I put some penetration oil on it, so that's probably why it came off nice and easy. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take off the bolts on the back of the control arm. So I'm going to use my trusty 7/8 up here, hold her straight, hold her steady, and then 3/4 on this bolt right here. So, alright, so I had to put a little penetration oil on that bad boy because those get stuck, so, there we go. And she's out. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and, before I pop everything loose, I'm going to take the tie rod, unloosen the tie rod. That's the 3/4. You want to get yourself a nice long socket. And there she goes. she's off. All right. So to get this tie rod off, I'm gonna use the Pitman puller. This will be my first time using this, so let's see how it goes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove the tie rod first before I remove the control arm. Normally, you probably want to use a rubber mallet or a puller, but I'm gonna just use a hammer, knock it on out. Done. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and remove the control arm. I like to remove this end out of there first. There we go. And then puller. Put that together real quick. Put that up, move that out my way. So, because I have a new control arm, I can go ahead and just connect the bolt in here. Put the bolt in there, and I'll take the hammer and try and get this out of here. Nope. Pause. Alright, so this thing can be quite tricky to get out. Sometimes hammering and this tool doesn't work. But this is a pretty good method of getting it out. But this time I had to use Pitman puller. I just stuck it up under here, twisted it, and popped it on out. So if you're having troubles, go to your AutoZone, rent one of these. If you don't have one, or you can get them on Amazon. Lifesaver.